Since time immemorial, the pentagram has fascinated and puzzled those who encounter its figure. Carved into ancient stones, present in mystical manuscripts, and even in religious traditions, the pentagram presents itself as one of the oldest symbols of humanity. However, despite its antiquity and importance, it is often misunderstood. Some see it as an emblem of power and protection, others as an icon of mystery and darkness. But what is the true meaning of this five-pointed symbol? To fully understand the pentagram, we need to go back in time, to ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia, where it was part of religious insignia and rituals. In Babylon, for example, the pentagram was a symbol of royalty and power, associated with the gods and the cosmic forces that ruled the universe. Long before it became an icon of Western magic, it already played a crucial role in beliefs about the balance of the cosmos and the role of human beings in the universe. Over time, the pentagram has taken on new forms and interpretations. In ancient Greece, the philosopher Pythagoras saw mathematical perfection in the pentagram. For him and his followers, each of the 5 points of the pentagram symbolized one of the essential elements of life: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, or spirit. This profound connection with the elements transformed the pentagram into something more than a geometric figure. It came to represent the harmony between the human body and the cosmos, a reflection of the microcosm within the macrocosm. As Christianity spread across Europe, the pentagram also took on new meanings. During the early centuries of the Christian era, it was adopted as a symbol of Christ, representing the 5 wounds of Jesus during crucifixion. However, this use was short-lived, and over time, as Christianity solidified its roots, the pentagram began to be associated with pagan practices and esoteric rituals, which gradually started to envelop the symbol in an aura of controversy. In the esoteric tradition, the pentagram stands out for its duality. The same symbol can be both an emblem of light and darkness, depending on how it is presented. With its point facing upwards, it represents spiritual ascension, the overcoming of matter, and the pursuit of the higher self. Conversely, with the point facing downwards, the pentagram has often been interpreted as a symbol of the inversion of spiritual values, associated with materialism and darkness. It's important to highlight that this duality doesn't mean that the symbol itself is negative or positive. It is, in fact, a reflection of the human condition, capable of both illuminating and getting lost in the shadows. Long before its demonization by popular culture, the pentagram was seen as a symbol of balance, a graphic representation of the interconnection of the 5 elements that make up reality and the human being. In exploring its origins, it becomes clear that the pentagram was not created to be a symbol of evil or darkness, but rather an esoteric tool for understanding the universe. It reminds us that we are complex beings, made of matter and spirit, living between the visible and invisible worlds. Just as its 5 points connect in a circle, we are also connected with the whole: the earth that sustains us, the air we breathe, the water that purifies us, the fire that transforms us, and the spirit that guides us. At the end of this historical journey, we realize that the pentagram is more than a symbol. It is a portal to understanding our place in the universe. Through it, we can begin to comprehend the unity of life, the balance of opposites, and the pursuit of a deeper connection with our higher self. It is from this understanding that the door to the true power of the pentagram opens, not as a simple mystical figure, but as a key to spiritual fulfillment. The pentagram, in addition to its rich history, plays a central role in various esoteric traditions and mystical systems throughout the centuries. It is not just a symbol of balance among the elements, but also a representation of the path to self-knowledge and connection with the sacred. Numerous cultures and mystical orders have adopted it as an emblem of power, wisdom, and protection, using it in rituals and practices aimed at accessing higher levels of consciousness. In ancient Greece, already mentioned in the previous section, the pentagram was an important symbol for the followers of Pythagoras, but it wasn't only among the Greeks that it gained esoteric relevance. In Jewish tradition, the pentagram was often associated with Kabbalah, being seen as a graphic representation of the tree of life, one of the main metaphors for understanding creation and the interaction between the human and the divine. Each point of the pentagram was correlated to different spheres of consciousness, creating a spiritual map for those who sought to understand the universe from an esoteric perspective. This profound symbolism also influenced the Hermetic tradition and alchemy. In the context of alchemy, the pentagram represented the process of transformation, both material and spiritual. Ancient alchemists believed that perfection, the ultimate goal of alchemy, could only be achieved through the balance of the elements represented by the pentagram. The symbol served as a constant reminder of the pursuit of the great work, the path of self-transformation that would lead to the philosophical gold, a metaphor for spiritual enlightenment. Another mystical system in which the pentagram plays a crucial role is that of Western ceremonial magic, particularly among groups such as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and later, among practitioners of Thelema. In these traditions, the pentagram is practically used in rituals aimed at purification, protection, and invocation of spiritual forces. One of the most well-known rituals involving the pentagram is the lesser ritual of the pentagram, where the symbol is traced in the air as a gesture of protection and consecration, creating a sacred space for the practitioner. This ritual serves to align the magician with cosmic energies and ensure their spiritual safety before any magical operation. The pentagram is also closely linked to the 5 human senses: vision, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. In esoteric tradition, it is believed that these senses are not just tools for physical perception, but also gateways to spiritual perception. The pentagram, by representing these senses, serves as a reminder that balance between the body and the spirit is essential for true understanding and inner development. When these 5 senses are in harmony, the practitioner is able to access deeper levels of consciousness and spiritual understanding. Furthermore, the pentagram symbolizes the 5 points of consciousness that mystics believe are necessary to connect with the higher self: will, wisdom, courage, compassion, and self-knowledge. Each of these points is an essential part of the spiritual path, and the pentagram, by uniting these aspects into a single form, serves as a key to spiritual ascension. Through it, the practitioner learns to harmonize these qualities within themselves, creating a path to spiritual awakening and personal fulfillment. In the Western esoteric tradition, the pentagram is also seen as a symbol of divinity manifested in man. It is often interpreted as a representation of the perfect man, with arms and legs stretched out, within a circle of power, balanced between spirit and matter. This image is used to illustrate the Hermetic concept that, as above, so below, meaning that the divine and the human are intrinsically connected, and that the pentagram is the symbol of this union. Over the centuries, the pentagram has been adopted by various mystical orders and secret societies. Freemasonry, for example, uses the symbol as a representation of universal harmony and the power of the human mind to create and build. In Masonic rituals, the pentagram is seen as an emblem of light, wisdom, and spiritual progress, guiding initiates on their journey to become masters of themselves. In the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the pentagram is widely used as a symbol of protection and invocation. During their ceremonies and rituals, the pentagram is traced in the air as a gesture of purification, both for the practitioner and for the environment in which the ritual takes place. This symbolic act reinforces the belief that the pentagram has the power to balance and align energies, protecting those who use it. Therefore, within the esoteric and mystical tradition, the pentagram is much more than a simple geometric figure. It is a multifaceted symbol, loaded with deep meanings that transcend the physical plane. It represents the unity of body and spirit, the balance of the five elements, the connection with the higher self, and the journey towards spiritual enlightenment. Used in rituals, meditations, and self-development practices, the pentagram continues to be one of the most powerful tools for those who seek not only protection and power, but also a deeper understanding of themselves and the universe. The pentagram is more than just a simple symbol. It contains a profound representation of the five elements that make up both the physical world and spiritual essence. These elements, earth, water, fire, air, and spirit, are the fundamental building blocks of existence, and their balance is essential for well-being and spiritual development. In the pentagram, each of the 5 points represents one of these elements, and the harmony between them reflects the balance necessary for connection with the higher self. Starting with the earth. This element is located at the left base of the pentagram. It symbolizes the physical world, the body, and stability. The earth is associated with security, materiality, and what keeps us grounded. In esoteric terms, it is the element that connects us to the earthly world, reminding us of the importance of being rooted and in touch with physical reality. It governs the first chakra, located at the base of the spine, which is the center of our survival and sense of belonging. When balanced, the earth brings security and emotional stability. When in disharmony, it can generate fear, insecurity, and disconnection. At the opposite end, we find water, located at the bottom right corner of the pentagram. Water is fluid, adaptable, and represents emotions and intuition. In many spiritual traditions, water is seen as a symbol of purification and healing, gently flowing to wash away impurities of the spirit. In the human body, water is related to the second chakra, the sacral chakra, which governs emotions, relationships, and creativity. When the energy of water is in balance, we feel the fluidity of life. We are emotionally balanced and able to adapt to changes. However, when out of harmony, it can lead to emotional instability, confusion, and excessive attachment. The fire. Located at the top right of the pentagram is the element of transformation and strength. It represents passion, desire, and action. In the esoteric field, fire is associated with vital energy, the power of transmutation, and the drive for growth. It governs the third chakra, the solar plexus, which is the center of personal power, confidence, and will. When fire is in balance, we are able to act with determination, move mountains, and transform our reality. However, when it is unbalanced, it can cause impulsiveness, anger, and loss of control. In the upper left corner of the pentagram, we have the air, which symbolizes the mind, communication, and intellect. Air is invisible, but its presence is felt everywhere. It governs the rational mind, thoughts, and ideas. In the human body, it is associated with the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, which not only represents love and compassion, but also the balance between reason and emotion. When air is in harmony, we are clear in our communication, flexible in our thinking, and open to new ideas. However, an imbalance in the air element can lead to mental confusion, anxiety, and difficulty in expressing thoughts and feelings. Finally, at the top of the pentagram is the One Spirit, which represents the ethereal element, the vital principle that connects all other elements. The Spirit is the divine essence that permeates all things and connects us to the higher self and the universe. It is the link that transcends the physical and emotional, uniting all other elements into a single harmonious system. In esoteric tradition, the spirit is seen as the fifth element, the one that goes beyond the tangible and guides us in our search for spiritual enlightenment. It is linked to the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, which governs our connection to the divine and our perception of the universe as a whole. When the spirit is in balance, we feel a deep sense of peace, purpose, and unity with the cosmos. When it is out of harmony, we may experience a sense of disconnection, lack of purpose, and loss of spiritual direction. The pentagram, by representing these five elements, serves as a visual reminder of the balance needed to live a full and spiritually aligned life. In esoteric practices, tracing the pentagram in the air or meditating on its shape is a way to harmonize these elements within us. It is a powerful tool for those seeking inner balance, as it reminds us that an excess of any of these elements can lead us to imbalance and disharmony. Furthermore, the pentagram also teaches that these elements are not separate entities, but work together. The body, earth, emotions, water, mind, air, energy, fire, and spirit are interconnected, and the balance between them is essential to achieving the higher self. By harmonizing these aspects, the pentagram becomes a key to spiritual transformation and inner growth. In many rituals and mystical practices, the pentagram is used as a tool to evoke and control these elements. It can be traced in the air during protection, invocation, and banishment ceremonies, ensuring that the elemental energies are balanced and working in harmony with the practitioner. Additionally, the pentagram is often used in talismans and amulets to protect and attract the energies of the necessary elements to promote balance and peace. The pentagram reminds us that life is a dance between these five elements, and that to achieve fulfillment, we must learn to keep them in harmony. Spiritual practice and esoteric development require us to become masters of this inner balance, and the pentagram is a symbolic map that guides us in this process. When we correctly align these elements in our lives, we are able to access a higher consciousness, where body, mind, and spirit unify in a journey towards the higher self. Throughout history, the pentagram has been widely recognized as a symbol of protection, both on a physical and spiritual level. Its ability to act as a shield against negative energies is one of the reasons why it is so prevalent in esoteric and mystical practices. In the context of magic and occult traditions, the pentagram is often used to create psychic protection barriers, warding off adversarial forces and safeguarding the practitioner from negative influences. The idea of protection is directly linked to the geometric structure of the pentagram. Each of its 5 points represents not only the elements of nature, but also a protective force that can be invoked to establish balance and security. When used correctly, the pentagram acts as a kind of closed circuit, where negative energies cannot penetrate. It establishes a spiritual boundary that keeps the practitioner safe, both from psychic attacks and unwanted external influences. In ceremonial magic rituals, one of the most common uses of the pentagram is in the creation of protective circles. During these rituals, the practitioner traces the symbol in the air, invoking its protective energy. The act of drawing the pentagram, accompanied by words of power, creates an invisible barrier around the practitioner or the space where the ritual is being performed. This barrier is seen as impenetrable, blocking the entrance of entities or negative energies. In orders such as the Golden Dawn and other occult systems, this procedure is fundamental before any magical operation, ensuring that the space is energetically purified and safe. The lesser ritual of the pentagram. Very popular in Western occultism, is a practice that exemplifies the power of protection associated with this symbol. In this ritual, the pentagram is traced at the 4 cardinal points, and each corresponding element is invoked to create an energetic fortress around the practitioner. This ritual, in addition to providing protection, serves to balance the internal elements, helping the magician to prepare for the spiritual work that will follow. It not only protects against external forces, but also helps the practitioner align their own energy with cosmic forces. Another fascinating aspect of the pentagram as a protection symbol is its use in habaos, amulets and talismans. For centuries, individuals have engraved the pentagram on medallions, stones and other objects, carrying them around to ward off spiritual dangers. Many traditions believe that wearing a pentagram helps to deflect evil, such as envy, curses, or spiritual attacks. These amulets are often consecrated in specific rituals, imbued with the intention to protect the wearer and create a psychic barrier around them. The protection provided by the pentagram, however, is not limited to the physical plane or visible attacks. In many esoteric traditions, the pentagram is also used as a defense against psychic attacks, which can be much more subtle and harmful. Psychic attacks occur when a person, consciously or unconsciously, sends negative or destructive energy to another. These attacks can manifest as feelings of exhaustion, anxiety, or even unexplained physical illnesses. By using the pentagram in meditative practices or rituals, the practitioner can create an energy shield around themselves, blocking these negative influences and preserving their mental and spiritual health. A common practice in psychic defense is the visualization of the pentagram around the body. During meditation, the practitioner may envision a bright pentagram encircling their energy field, creating a luminous barrier against any form of attack. This visualization technique, in addition to providing protection, also helps to reinforce spiritual confidence and the connection with the higher self. The light that emanates from the symbolic pentagram acts as armor, reflecting back any destructive energies that attempt to penetrate their energy field. Furthermore, the pentagram has a very close association with the concept of banishing negative energies. In various esoteric traditions, the symbol is used to expel unwanted entities or forces from a space or person. In practices of exorcism or spiritual cleansing, the pentagram can be traced to seal spiritual doors and windows, preventing negative entities from entering or disturbing the place. Its geometric shape, considered perfect, symbolizes harmony and universal order, opposing the chaos and disorder represented by negative forces. In modern witchcraft and neo-paganism, the pentagram is also widely used as a personal protection symbol. Wiccans, for example, see the pentagram as a protective amulet against negative energies and as a symbol of connection with natural elements. It is used on altars, in rituals, and in jewelry, always with the intention of creating a bond with the natural world, and at the same time, protecting the practitioner from adverse forces. Its simplicity and power make it a very versatile symbol, both in the physical and spiritual realm. Thus, the pentagram, with its rich and complex symbolism, transcends its merely decorative role to become a true tool of psychic protection and defense. It is a powerful shield, used by magicians, witches, and mystics throughout time to protect themselves from the invisible forces that permeate the world. Through its sacred geometry, the pentagram provides the safety and protection necessary for those who seek to tread the spiritual path, allowing them to advance without fear of attacks or negative interferences. The pentagram, in its ascending form, is widely recognized as a symbol of balance and spiritual ascension. However, when it is inverted, it often takes on a distinct meaning and, in some traditions, carries a connotation of darkness and materialism. The inverted pentagram has been the subject of much controversy and misunderstanding, especially due to its association with practices considered dark or evil. However, to understand this symbolic transformation, it is necessary to explore the nuances between light and shadow, not only in esotericism, but also within the human psyche. The pentagram with the point facing up symbolizes the spirit dominating matter, with the top point representing the spiritual connection and the other 4 points symbolizing the physical elements of earth, water, fire, and air. This figure represents the rise of the human spirit, the control of the mind over the body, and the advancement towards enlightenment. It is an emblem of overcoming earthly limitations and the pursuit of transcendence. On the other hand, the inverted pentagram presents an inversion of this idea, with matter prevailing over the spirit. In this case, the lower point represents the domination of earthly desires, materiality, and passions over spiritual aspiration. For many, this inversion is seen as a representation of the fall, a withdrawal from the light, which can symbolize both a surrender to ego and materialism, as well as a conscious exploration of the left-hand path, as it is known in some esoteric traditions. This left-hand path is often mistakenly considered synonymous with malevolent or destructive practices. However, for those who study it seriously, it is a journey towards spiritual self-sufficiency, personal empowerment, and control over material reality. For practitioners of these traditions, the inverted pentagram is not a symbol of evil, but rather an affirmation of mastery over material forces, an understanding that spirit and matter do not need to be in opposition, but can be integrated into a holistic reality. Even so, the association of the inverted pentagram with dark practices gained strength, particularly with the emergence of modern Satanism in the 20th century. Organizations such as the Church of Satan, founded by Anton LaVey, adopted the inverted pentagram as one of their main symbols, reinforcing the idea that the inversion of the pentagram represents the rejection of traditional spiritual norms and the exaltation of individuality and desire. In satanic symbology, the inverted pentagram is often drawn with a stylized goat's head inside, representing the goat of Mendes, which is also mistakenly associated with satanic worship, although it originally symbolized fertility and balance. But beyond these contemporary associations, the concept of light and shadow within spirituality is much more complex and profound. In esotericism, the shadow is not necessarily something negative or evil. On the contrary, it is an essential part of the self-knowledge process. The shadow, according to Carl Jung, represents the unconscious and repressed aspects of ourselves, those that we prefer to ignore or suppress. Integrating the shadow is a fundamental step in achieving the totality of the being. The inverted pentagram, therefore, can be seen as a symbolic representation of this process, the need to confront, accept, and transform the parts of us that remain in the shadows. Thus, the duality between the ascending pentagram and the inverted one reflects one of the oldest dichotomies of humanity: the struggle between light and darkness, spirit and matter, the conscious and the unconscious. However, it's important to understand that these forces are not enemies. They are, in fact, complementary. Both light and shadow are necessary for spiritual growth. The light guides us, lifts us, and inspires us. But the shadow teaches us valuable lessons about ourselves, leading us to confront our fears and limitations. In various esoteric traditions, this duality is expressed as the balance between the path of the right hand, associated with light, altruism, and transcendence, and the path of the left hand, associated with shadow, individuality, and personal power. For many mystics, the true spiritual path involves integrating these two sides, which means working with both light and shadow to achieve wholeness. The pentagram, in both its forms, then becomes a symbol of dynamic balance, where the practitioner must learn to navigate between the forces of spiritual ascension and material challenges. In ceremonial magic and occult practices, the inverted pentagram is used with care and respect. Even though its main association is with materialism or the exploration of dark energies, it is not necessarily negative. In certain rituals, the inverted pentagram may be used to invoke earth energies, to work with the forces of transformation and change, or to confront dark aspects of the psyche that need to be integrated. This use reflects a deeper understanding of the pentagram as a symbol that encompasses all aspects of existence, both the lofty and the earthly. Therefore, the distinction between the ascending and inverted pentagram goes beyond simplistic judgments of good and evil. In esotericism, these two forms of the pentagram represent different aspects of the spiritual journey. The first focuses on elevation, the pursuit of the divine, while the second invites us to explore the depths of matter and psyche. Both paths are necessary, and the true seeker must be able to navigate between them, learning the lessons each one has to offer. The inverted pentagram, ultimately, serves as a reminder that shadow and light are part of the same coin. It's the acceptance of both sides that allows us to move forward on the path of spiritual evolution. The danger lies in rejecting one in favor of the other, as it is in the integration of opposites that we find true enlightenment. The symbol, in its complexity, invites us to a deeper reflection on who we are and what we need to face to achieve wholeness. The pentagram, with its perfect geometric shape and profound symbolism, is not just a symbol of protection or balance of the elements. It also acts as a key that opens the doors to connection with the higher self. For those seeking spiritual growth, the pentagram offers a path to a higher understanding of the universe and one's own inner essence. Each of its 5 points serves as a guide to the integration of the physical and spiritual aspects of life, enabling the ascent towards the higher self. In the esoteric context, the full higher self is understood as the highest and wisest part of our consciousness. It transcends the ego and the limitations of the earthly mind, being more intimately connected to the spiritual plane, where the true understanding of life and purpose resides. The higher self is, therefore, the divine essence within us, the purest version of who we truly are. Connecting with this higher part is one of the main goals of the spiritual path, and the pentagram can serve as a crucial tool in this journey. The pentagram, in representing the 5 elements, symbolizes the totality of human experience: the body, earth, emotions, water, mind, air, vital energy, fire, and spirit. When these elements are in balance, a space of harmony is created that allows the practitioner to transcend material limitations and align with the higher self. This balance is necessary for us to listen to inner wisdom and understand the messages that come from the spiritual plane. When working with the pentagram in spiritual and meditative practices, many mystics use the symbol to align their body and mind with the higher self. This can be done in various ways, including meditating on the pentagram, where the practitioner visualizes the symbol while focusing on each element and its correspondence with aspects of life. This practice helps to clear the energy field and stabilize emotions and thoughts, preparing the ground for a deeper connection with the higher self. One of the main uses of the pentagram in spiritual development is as a tool for consciousness elevation. By focusing on the top point of the pentagram, which represents the spirit, the practitioner directs their attention towards the highest part of their existence. In many traditions, the pentagram is traced in the air during rituals and ceremonies to invoke spiritual energy and create a bridge between the material and spiritual worlds. This symbolic gesture activates the power of the higher self, allowing the practitioner to access higher states of consciousness. The meditation with the pentagram is a simple yet powerful practice for those seeking a deeper connection with their higher self. In this practice, The individual visualizes the pentagram shining in front of them, with each of its points radiating light and energy. As the meditation progresses, the practitioner focuses on each element, harmonizing with it, and allowing its energies to flow freely through the body and mind. The culmination of the meditation is the focus on the spirit, which sits at the top of the pentagram. At this moment, the practitioner opens up to the energies of the higher self, allowing this connection to guide their spiritual journey. Furthermore, the pentagram can be used in rituals to strengthen spiritual alignment. During these rituals, the symbol is drawn to invoke the presence of the higher self and ask for guidance in times of doubt or difficulty. The pentagram acts as a beacon, illuminating the path and bringing clarity and wisdom to those who are ready to listen. It can also be used as a shield, protecting the practitioner from external distractions and influences that may divert their attention from the spiritual purpose. The process of connecting with the higher self through the pentagram is, in essence, a journey of self-discovery. When working with the symbol, the practitioner is challenged to confront their imbalances and seek the integration of all parts of themselves. The pentagram reminds us that we cannot access the higher self if we are in disharmony with the material aspects of our life. It is necessary to balance the needs of the body, emotions, and mind, so that the spirit can emerge clearly and fully. In many traditions, the higher self is seen as a source of wisdom and intuition. It is the one that guides us on our spiritual journey, showing the path we should follow to realize our true potential. However, this connection cannot be forced. It needs to be cultivated with patience and dedication. The pentagram, as a symbol of harmony and balance, helps to create the necessary space for this connection to occur naturally. By aligning the 5 elements and bringing the energy of the higher self to the center of our consciousness, we are able to hear the inner voice that guides us. The pentagram also teaches us that spiritual development is not a linear journey. Just as the 5 points of the symbol are interconnected, our spiritual journey involves the integration of different aspects of our existence. Often, we need to work with our emotional and physical challenges before we can access higher levels of consciousness. The pentagram reminds us that spiritual progress is made in stages, and that each of these stages is crucial for growth and enlightenment. Throughout history, the pentagram has been used by mystics and spiritual practitioners as a key to unlock the doors of higher perception. It offers us a vision of how the physical and spiritual elements are intertwined, and how harmony between them is essential for personal fulfillment. The pentagram shows us that by balancing the body, mind, and spirit, we can transcend the limitations of earthly existence and access the higher realms of consciousness. Thus, the pentagram is more than just a simple esoteric symbol. It is a tool for spiritual transformation, a visual representation of the path that leads to the higher self. By working with this symbol and integrating its teachings into our everyday life, we can approach a deeper connection with our divine essence, allowing the higher self to guide us on the journey of life. While the pentagram carries a deep and mystical symbolism, it can also be incorporated into everyday spiritual practices to promote self-discovery, balance, and protection. For many spiritual seekers, the pentagram is not just a visual symbol, but a practical tool that can be used in meditations, rituals, and other exercises to strengthen the connection between the body, mind, and spirit. Its applications in spiritual development are diverse, and exploring them in a practical way can bring tangible benefits to those seeking to deepen their path of ascension and inner balance. One of the most accessible practices is the pentagram meditation. This technique involves visualizing the symbol, while the practitioner focuses their attention on each of the 5 elements it represents. The meditation begins with the visualization of the pentagram shining in front of you. each of its points radiating pure energy. As the practitioner concentrates on each element, earth, water, fire, air, and spirit, they reflect on how that element is present in their life. This not only helps align internal energies, but also identifies areas where there may be imbalance, such as excessive emotional stress or disconnection from nature. Meditation can be complemented with affirmations or mantras that help reinforce the intention of balance. For example, when focusing on the earth, one might repeat phrases like, "I am grounded and secure," helping to solidify a sense of stability. When working with water, affirmations such as, "My emotions flow with ease and grace," can help balance the emotional body. By repeating these thoughts while visualizing the pentagram, the practitioner activates corresponding energies, bringing harmony within themselves. Another practical application of the pentagram is in the use of the talismans and amulets. Since ancient times, the pentagram has been engraved on stones, metals, or drawn on paper, and used as a protective amulet. Creating a personal talisman with the pentagram involves more than simply carrying the symbol. It's about imbuing the object with a specific intention. This process can be done in a simple ritual, where the pentagram is drawn or carved into a material of your choice, such as a stone or medallion. During the ritual, the practitioner may trace the symbol in the air, visualizing it as a protective shield and affirming their intention for the talisman to bring protection, balance, or any other specific wish. In addition to amulets, the pentagram can be incorporated into rituals of cleansing and banishing negative energies. One of the most common uses is to trace the symbol in the air with the hand, or with a ritual tool, such as a wand, to create a protective energy field. This gesture can be done in environments, such as a house or room, as well as around one's own body, sealing personal energy against unwanted influences. A simple cleansing ritual could involve lighting a candle and, with a clear intention, tracing the pentagram around the flame, visualizing any negative energy being absorbed and transmuted by the fire. This type of practice helps to keep the energetic space clean and clear, promoting an environment conducive to spiritual development. Another important aspect of the pentagram in spiritual practices is its use in invocation rituals. The pentagram not only acts as a symbol of protection, but also as a tool for channeling and directing energies. Many esoteric practitioners trace the pentagram at the four cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, to invoke the energies of the elements and create a sacred space. This ritual, known as the lesser ritual of the pentagram, is a central practice in many occult traditions, as it purifies and protects the practitioner before magical operations or deep meditations. By tracing the pentagram in the air, the practitioner strengthens their connection with the elements and the higher self, ensuring that energy flows in a balanced and protected manner. For those seeking high emotional and mental balance, the pentagram can be used as a focal point in breathing and visualization exercises. An effective practice involves visualizing the pentagram in the center of the body, in front of the chest or in the solar plexus area. As you breathe deeply, envision each point of the pentagram glowing with light, bringing with it the balance needed for that moment. As the breath deepens, you can focus on a specific element that needs attention. For instance, earth to increase stability, or water to calm turbulent emotions. This simple practice helps to center the mind and body, promoting a sense of inner peace and emotional control. Furthermore, the pentagram can also be used in self-awareness practices. Each point of the pentagram represents an aspect of human experience: physical, emotional, mental, energetic, and spiritual. By reflecting on each of these aspects, the practitioner can identify areas of life that need more attention or are out of balance. The pentagram, then, becomes a symbolic map that guides the practitioner on their journey of self-discovery, helping them to recognize their strengths and areas for improvement. This reflection can be done through journaling, reflective writing, where each element is explored in detail and how it manifests in daily life. For those who feel disconnected from their own spiritual purpose, the pentagram offers a way to reconnect with the higher self. It can be used in alignment rituals, where the practitioner focuses on the top point of the pentagram, which represents the spirit. By meditating on this point, visualizing it radiating divine light, the practitioner opens themselves up to spiritual guidance and the greater purpose of their life. This regular practice helps to strengthen the connection with the higher self, bringing clarity and guidance in times of doubt or uncertainty. Finally, the pentagram can also be incorporated into practices of energy healing. It can be visualized as a way to reorganize and balance the energy field of a person or a space. For example, when working with energy healing, the practitioner may trace the pentagram over another person's body, using their hands or a healing tool such as a crystal. As the pentagram is traced, the practitioner intends for the imbalanced energies to be reorganized, bringing health and harmony to the energy field. In summary, the practical applications of the pentagram in spiritual development are vast and accessible for any seeker. It can be a tool for meditation, protection, invocation, and healing, providing tangible benefits on the path of self-discovery and spiritual balance. The pentagram, with its rich symbolism and ancestral power, continues to be one of the most versatile and powerful symbols for those seeking a path of growth and inner alignment. Throughout history, the pentagram has been a constant presence in spiritual, esoteric, and mystical traditions, always representing something greater than the sum of its parts. From its ancient origin to its modern use, it has transcended cultures, serving as a symbolic map of the human journey towards enlightenment. Although sometimes shrouded in controversy and misunderstandings, its true essence is one of transformation and balance, offering insight into how to integrate the totality of existence: the body, the mind, the emotion, and the spirit. At the conclusion of this journey of understanding, it becomes clear that the pentagram is a symbol of profound spiritual and personal transformation. The pentagram, in its ascending form, teaches us that the path to enlightenment is not linear, but rather a continuous process of self-discovery and balance. It reflects the very structure of life, where the five elements, earth, water, fire, air, and spirit, constantly interact, influencing our daily experiences and challenges. The key to transformation lies in our ability to harmonize these forces within us, learning to flow with life instead of resisting its currents. One of the most powerful messages of the pentagram is that enlightenment does not mean the absence of challenges, but the ability to face them with wisdom and balance. Just as the 5 points of the pentagram are interconnected, so are the aspects of life. None can be ignored or suppressed without affecting the whole. This symbol reminds us that, to achieve true enlightenment, we must be willing to look at all parts of ourselves, both those that are illuminated and those that remain in the shadows. The process of spiritual transformation, guided by the pentagram, is not a sudden leap to perfection, but a journey of integration. By working with this symbol, we learn to accept that both the physical and the spiritual have their place. The pentagram teaches us to honor our bodies, our emotions, and our minds as necessary vehicles for the spiritual experience, while simultaneously encouraging us to seek alignment with our higher self. In this sense, it leads us to the understanding that enlightenment is, in fact, the ability to fully live in every aspect of our existence, without losing connection with the divine. Another crucial aspect that the pentagram offers us is the understanding that true transformation occurs from the inside out. The symbol not only reflects the balance between elements, but also encourages us to look within ourselves for answers and strength. The spiritual path, represented by the pentagram, is one that invites us to explore our thoughts, feelings, and energies to promote change. It reminds us that true transformation cannot be externally forced. It must be cultivated from our own understanding and internal growth. Through meditation and the ritualistic use of the pentagram, we learn to recognize and integrate the shadow as part of the enlightenment process. The pentagram, especially when explored in its various forms, shows us that light and shadow are interdependent. There is no spiritual ascension without first diving deep into the depths of our own psyche, confronting the parts of us that we tend to hide or ignore. Real transformation comes when we accept these parts and integrate them into our being, allowing the shadow to illuminate new paths of growth. Furthermore, the pentagram provides a tool of personal power. By working with this symbol, we learn to manifest our intentions in a more conscious and aligned way. It reminds us that we are co-creators of our reality, and that by balancing the elements within us, we can also influence the world around us. By using the pentagram as a tool for manifestation, we bring harmony to our actions, allowing our thoughts, emotions, and intentions to be in tune with the higher purpose of our lives. The continuous use of the pentagram in spiritual practices also strengthens our connection with the divine. As a symbol of ascension and enlightenment, it helps us align with cosmic forces, creating a bridge between the material and spiritual. As we work with the pentagram, we open ourselves to new perceptions and insights about our existence and our role in the universe. It serves as a constant reminder that we are part of a larger whole, and that our spiritual journey is a path to reconnect with this totality. As we explore the pentagram in our daily practices, we also develop a deeper sense of spiritual responsibility. The balance represented by the symbol reminds us that, as conscious beings, we have the responsibility to take care of our environment, our relationships, and our own evolution. In seeking inner harmony, we also learn to cultivate it in the external world, contributing to a more balanced and peaceful environment for all beings. The pentagram, then, is a symbol of our continuous transformation and enlightenment. It offers us a vision of who we can become when we harmonize all aspects of our life. But it also reminds us that this journey is cyclical. Just as the seasons change and the cycles of nature renew, so too our spiritual evolution is a continuous process of learning, growth, and renewal. As we conclude our journey of understanding the pentagram, it becomes clear that it is more than a static symbol. It is a dynamic guide for spiritual growth and enlightenment, showing us that true transformation is a journey that requires balance, self-knowledge, and the integration of all aspects of our existence. Through the pentagram, we are called to seek not only spiritual ascension, but also deep connection with the physical, emotional, and mental world, understanding that all these aspects are necessary for complete fulfillment. When we connect with the pentagram in our practices, we strengthen our relationship with the higher self and open ourselves to a life of greater balance, purpose, and enlightenment. It guides us, step by step, through the process of inner transformation, allowing us to live in accordance with the universal wisdom it represents. Thus, the pentagram remains an eternal symbol of our potential to grow, evolve, and become a higher version of ourselves. Now that you've uncovered the transformative power of the pentagram and how it can connect you to your higher self, we want to know, which of the 5 elements do you feel needs more harmonization in your life? Earth, water, fire, air, or spirit? Leave your comment below and share your experience, so together, as a community, we can manifest more balance and spiritual elevation for all of us here at Mind Unfettered. Remember, the more you share, the more you connect with this flow of collective wisdom. And before you leave, there's more knowledge waiting for you. The next step in your journey is just a click away. Don't miss our next video, The Apocryphal Gospels, the hidden revelations of Jesus the Church doesn't want you to know, where we'll dive into ancient texts and uncover hidden truths about Jesus' life that could transform your spiritual understanding. It's right here on your screen, ready for you to continue your development. See you there.